Let's dive right in. Life can sometimes feel like a never-ending roller coaster, right? You might be cruising along and then suddenly, bam, you hit a bump that leaves you feeling stuck, overwhelmed, or just plain crushed by problems that seem to pile up like dirty laundry. Maybe it's those bills that keep stacking up, a relationship that feels more like a weight than a joy, or the sting of a dream that slipped through your fingers despite all the hard work you put in. And deep down, you might be asking yourself, why is life so hard? Why can't I just catch a break? I want you to really hear me on this. Your struggles aren't signs of failure. Nope. They're proof that you're alive, that you're growing, and that something powerful is being forged inside you. Think about it for a second. Diamonds? They're created under immense pressure. Steel? It's forged in fire. The most resilient people, the real leaders, survivors, and warriors, are shaped by the struggles they face. It's all part of the journey. Let's paint a picture here. Imagine two people who lose their jobs on the same day. Same exact situation, right? But here's where it gets interesting. One of them completely collapses. They moan about the economy, blame their boss, and sink into despair. Weeks turn into months of inaction, and they just stay stuck in that negative space. The other person? They take a deep breath, see this moment as a turning point, and decide to learn a new skill. Maybe they start freelancing, or finally dive into that business they've always dreamed about. Fast forward a few months, and they're in a better position than they were before. The difference wasn't the problem itself, it was all about mindset. So today, we're not just chatting about inspiration, we're diving deep into practical, actionable steps. I want you to walk away with tools that'll help you fight back when life feels impossible. Let's kick things off with step 1. Accept the reality. You can't fix a problem that you refuse to face. Denial is like covering your eyes and hoping the storm just passes you by. It doesn't work like that. You've got to face it head on. Look in the mirror and say to yourself, yes, this is hard, but this is not the end of me. For instance, if you're drowning in debt, the first step isn't to panic or ignore the bills. Nope, it's to look at them, face those numbers, make a list of everything you owe. Clarity destroys fear, my friend. Once you see the reality for what it is, your brain can finally switch from panic mode to problem-solving mode. Now, on to step 2. Break it down. The reason most struggles feel overwhelming is that you re-looking at the entire mountain instead of just focusing on the first step. You don't climb Mount Everest in one giant leap. You take it one step at a time. So, ask yourself this powerful question. What's one small thing I can do today? If you're in debt, maybe that one thing is making a simple budget or cutting just one unnecessary expense. If your heart's been broken, maybe it's spending 10 minutes journaling your feelings instead of letting them consume you. Tiny, consistent steps lead to massive, life-altering change. There's this inspiring story about a man who wanted to run a marathon, but could barely jog around the block without gasping for air. Instead of throwing in the towel, he told himself, "Today, I'll just walk for 5 minutes." That's it. The next day, he walked for 6. Day by day, he added a little more. Months later, he crossed that marathon finish line. That's the incredible power of breaking things down into manageable pieces. Now, let's talk about step 3. Reframe the struggle. Most people get stuck asking, why me? But here's the game-changing question. What is this trying to teach me? Think about failure for a moment. We're often taught to fear it, but every successful person I've ever studied will tell you it was their greatest teacher. Take Michael Jordan, for instance. He was famously cut from his high school basketball team. Can you imagine? Or Steve Jobs, who was fired from Apple, the very company he co-founded. Did those struggles destroy them? Absolutely not. They redefined their paths and used the pain as fuel. Reframing your struggles turns pain into power. Instead of saying, this setback ruined me, flip the script and tell yourself, this setback taught me exactly what I needed to learn to get to the next level. Step 4 is all about control. Control what you can and release what you can't. One of the biggest sources of suffering comes from trying to fight battles that are outside your control. You can't control the economy, the weather, or what other people think or do. Wasting energy on those things is like trying to stop the tide from coming in. But here's the kicker. You can always control your response, your mindset, and your actions. For instance, you might not control whether your boss unfairly lets you go, but you absolutely control how you respond. Do you collapse in defeat, or do you pivot, update your resume, and start networking for new, better opportunities? The energy you waste on things you can control is energy stolen from creating the solutions you need. Moving on to step 5. Build resilience through daily habits. Struggles aren't won by a single burst of willpower. They're won by the small, consistent habits that make you stronger every single day. Think about habits like reading for 15 minutes, journaling, exercising, meditating, or even just surrounding yourself with people who lift you up instead of dragging you down. Picture this. If you go to the gym just once, you won't see a difference. But if you go consistently over months, your body transforms. The same principle applies to your mind and spirit. The struggles in your life don't necessarily get smaller, you just get stronger. Step 6 is about finding meaning in the pain. Viktor Frankl, a psychiatrist who survived the horrors of Nazi concentration camps, wrote something profound. When you know your why, you can survive almost anyhow. Even in the darkest places imaginable, he found meaning. He told himself, I have to survive so I can share this message with the world and help others find meaning in their suffering. That purpose gave him the strength to endure when so many others collapsed. Your pain will feel entirely different when you attach a greater meaning to it. Instead of thinking, this suffering is pointless, ask yourself, how is this suffering shaping me for something bigger? What can I learn from this that will help me or others in the future? And finally, step 7. Don't walk alone. You are not meant to fight your battles by yourself. We're social creatures, and community is a superpower. When you share your burdens, they become lighter. That's not just a nice saying, it's a psychological fact. Talk to a trusted friend, join a support group, or connect with people who understand what you're going through. Sometimes just saying out loud, I'm struggling, can open doors to solutions and support you never could have imagined on your own. Here's the closing truth. Life will never be free of problems. Struggles are part of the human experience. But when you learn how to face them, break them down, reframe them, and keep growing through them, you stop being a victim of your circumstances and become unstoppable. So the next time life hits you hard, don't ask, why me? Instead, stand tall and ask, what is this trying to build in me? Because struggles don't define you, they refine you. If this video gave you even one tool to handle your struggles better, smash that like button and drop a comment sharing one challenge you're working through right now. Let's support each other. And don't forget to subscribe. Every week, I share strategies to help you think stronger, live smarter, and rise higher, no matter what life throws at you. Thanks for watching. I can't wait to see you in the next video.